checkered flag. Will we get a green flag run? Fabulous restart by Al Carter, who pulls out 2, 3, 4 cars lengths on the McLaren behind. The black, white and blue car closing in under the brakes. Then it's a lap car. That's Mark Miller. He's looking for championship positions here, so he's trying to get back on the lead lap. So third place is the white car in fourth in the line, if you will. And he's going to battle with the next white car back. So Mark Miller here, right in the middle of the lion's den. Damien Faulkner's had a good restart. He's right up the tailpipes of Scott Maxwell in the 59 car. 7 cars there, 6 of which are the top 6. And then the McLaren of Nico Rondeau. He's not too much further back either. So 8 cars, the third of which in line is a lapped car. Meantime, Owen Trinkler back into second. Trinkler back into second on the restart. So Trinkler getting down to business very quickly indeed. But now he's got to chase down a Mazda, not a Mini, and the Mini's got a problem. The Mini is slowing.
It is.
And through comes Kleinebing. Kleinebing was the man we said to watch, and he muscles his way through into third, through turn 6, and the Mini's got a problem, and Trinkler's gone for the lead. Trinkler's gone for the lead, and he's got it, going up the hill. He's got the inside line going into the corkscrew, and somehow he's managed to get his way through. And he's late again.
That's horsepower. On the previous lap, the Mazda got through ahead of the Mini to take the lead in the class, but now horsepower told they're going up the hill, but the Mazda's all over the back of Owen Trinkler. This is a great battle with 16, just about 17 minutes remaining, John.
And in ST3, very different cars. Front-wheel drive, front-engine Nissan. Rear-wheel drive, front-engined Mazda. And then an all-wheel drive, front-engine in the Audi. And another spin on the front straight, this time for the 56 car, I think. The 26 Freedom Autosport car. Oh, big shunt down the inside. That's Andrew Carbonelli.
That's how he took the lead. That's hit the inside
of the Mini. Right, that's how he took the Mini. Right, he can't get away with that. No wonder the Mini is slowing down. That might be the Mini, of course, hoisted by its own petard, having nudged itself into the lead beforehand. Well, Carbonell's, I'm sure, is going to get a penalty for that. Been some very robust driving, shall we say.
Newbing up in a second place, isn't he?
56 car running around at the back again. Still, and that was the car that's just spun on the front straight. So still trying to get some championship points for Eric Voss. Just coming out of the final corner, did he get a helping hand here? Oh, well.
So 25 cars just been in the pits. Presumably that was a penalty for the contact with number 54 car.
Right, okay, yeah.
So he's dropped.
73 Mini, he's banged up all over the place.
Yeah.
And Pombo's dropped down to 4th position, and there is, well, I can't tell if there's any more damage on the front of that. And Damien Faulkner loops it on the final corner. Second time that he's been around there. He's pushing hard, and that will cost him a position to Nico Rondeau, I think. Yeah, it's cost him more than that. He's down into 10th position now, just ahead of his teammate. Oh, what could have been a great day for CJ Wilson.
Goodness gracious.
Nobody wants to get this race won. Yeah. Al Carter's not pulled away, by the way, Jeremy. He's only got 8/10 of a lead in the 99 Aston, the blue Aston, from the black, blue and white, or mainly white, black and blue McLaren.
Doesn't need to pull away. All he's got to do is hang in there, isn't it?
True, that's very true.
Tell you what, who is charging hard? That's Chris Wilson. He's up now into the 8th position, ahead of Chris Hall on that lap.
Owen Trinkler now has the all-wheel drive Audi to battle against. Let's have a look at the back of that Nissan. Is there a little ding on the left-hand side? I don't think there is. Can't see it. Gone past us and up to turn 5 now. Shea Adam with news from the pit lane.
The 25, the car that just came through and served the penalty, Freedom Autosport Mazda, is retired. It's going behind the wall. Right,
okay. Trinkler then leading ST1 at VIR for Nissan. For the I Do Borrow team. For Sarah Catania, who did another splendid job at the start of the race. Slightly defends going into the corkscrew for their 124th lap. It's side by side, down the inside. Kleinebink's got to run down into Rainey, and he's taken the lead. Well, I tell you what, if that's going to win the race, that's a pass to do it. That's a pass and a half to do that. That is not a passing place.
No, that's
got
tough.
in alongside Trinkler and just toughed it out. The all-wheel drive clearly helping. Trinkler now right up the tailpipes of the leader, and I think might have even just been a little tag there as the Audi drives off onto the dirt, but with all-wheel drive still gets a better exit from the corner. And Andrew Carbonell's right there as well, coming down the hill and sticks his nose in. That's brave, very brave indeed from Kleinebink, and fair driving from both. I bet that opened Owen Trinkler's eyes. Wasn't expecting to see the 75 go through there, but the lead has gone for the 44 car.
Number 3 car in the pits.
That is the Chris Wilson splash and go for that car. Splash and dash. So the ST battle is still raging. Can Kleinebink build some kind of a lead? Andrew Carbonell in 3rd place, but a question mark over that car after heavy contact to take the lead in class with the Mini. We'll find out if there's any penalty on that, I'm sure, shortly. 12 minutes to go. 17 car off again as well. Been an up and down day for the 17 team. Spencer Pumpelly, not very often I say Spencer Pumpelly off the road.
No, he was
in 7th position there before he went dirt tracking. And, oh, right, backed it in at turn 5.
That's all right. That's odd. Whether he got some assistance there, I don't know. He was battling away with number 37 car, the Mini of James Vance.
Here comes Trinkler for the lead on the front straight. No, check that. That is him holding on to 2nd. Got a challenge from the Mazda. The Audi, of course, is up front. Survival now for all of these drivers. Been a long day. Owen Trinkler been at the wheel for 2 hours and 50 minutes. And he's having to use all of his skill, amassed in 140 starts pretty much in Continental tyre. A super silver driver in terms of his experience. And is he going to be denied the win? Well, looks like it. Is he going to be denied 2nd? Carbonell, will he put the bumper on him here? And the old bump and go, tried it for the lead before. Carbonell able to carry a little more speed through the corners, up through turn 6 and heading up the hill. But the Nissan pulls away.
Yeah, it's
horsepower.
Yeah, it's grunt against.
What's the relative weight of those cars, Jeremy?
The relative weights are the Nissan weighs in at 2760 pounds.
Right.
The Mazda at 2450.
Right,
so 300 pounds of difference. That is why the Nissan, particularly with its front-wheel drive, it's putting all the power through those front wheels. They are working really hard.
The back tyres on the Nissan haven't been changed, I'm just hearing from the pit lane. They've been just dragged around. Al Carter has pulled out a 1.3 second lead from Chris Green, but then Guy Cosmo, Trent Hinman, Scott Maxwell are right there. And it looks like Mark Miller, who's just gone off on the exit of turn 5 but regains the track, has backed out of that to let those 3 battle. That's really good sportsmanship. They're battling for podium positions, and he's not going to get on the lead lap now with Al Carter pulling away. Damien Faulkner, by the way, back up in the 8th position.
Yeah, just got past Chris Hall on that last lap.
But that car leading just before the last caution. Well. Imagine all those poor journalists who've been writing in the race report all the way through. Yeah, I know what's happening here. No, let's start again. All right, I know what's happening here. No, let's control.
Yeah, and just looking at the number 73 Mini, it's in the 4th position now, but he just got past number 34 Christian Shimjak a lap or 2 ago. And he's turning some pretty quick laps. He was the fastest car on the track in ST last time around, the 4th place mini car number 73. He's got about 3 seconds to make up before he can catch that lead trio.
And this is a great rearguard action from Chris Green with the flapping diffuser, which has now started to come loose and peel away. 8.5 minutes left. Now, we've seen that race control don't like to pull cars in from these types of positions because of the damage. The 2 Porsches battling into turn 5 behind him, with Guy Cosmo and Trent Hinman having a cracking battle. Similar coloured cars, but not the same team. TGM, the number 4, and Body Motion, the number 12. I would think there's a standing yellow into turn 5, so they can't make an overtake manoeuvre there. Number 4 flashing its lights at Chris Green. That's Guy Cosmo. And I'm sure Chris will go, oh, yeah, sorry, you want to be passed? Of course, I'll pull over for you. No.
I think not.
No, not at all. Not going to happen. Seven and a half minutes left to go, and I honestly still don't know what the 2 podia are going to look like. Pierre Kleineming is stretched out to 2.3 seconds, but Trinkler and Carbonell are battling in the Nissan and the Mazda, the purple and black Nissan, and the white base colour Mazda at the front of the field. Al Carter in the blue. Aston Martin number 99's pulled away to 1.2 seconds. Check that. It's 9/10 of a second as the battle behind has just eased for a moment, and Chris Green starts to concentrate on ahead of him rather than what's going on behind him. That rear diffuser, though, is looking very tenuous on the back.
And there was a lot of unhappy people after the race at VAR with that rear valance on the Camaro flailing around as it was for a long time. And I was led to believe afterwards that that wasn't going to be allowed to happen. That wouldn't be allowed to happen again. Well, it kind of is right now.
And it is starting to tear now, as behind the 71 Aston Martin goes underneath Scott Maxwell, who's in 5th position, but that wasn't a pass for position. The 71 coming back through the field, but many laps down, or 1 lap down actually. First car off the lead lap. Here's Brandon Davis. That car led the race impressively at the start. We've had a few different leaders today, Jeremy, genuinely as well on pace, not just on the pit stop cycles.
You're absolutely right.
It might be the sound of silence tomorrow with Jeremy's back gone, my stomach upset. Shea, I think, is the only fit one amongst us at the moment. Fastest lap of the race for the 35 car, just turned by Damien Faulkner, 34.7, as he's now only 2.5 seconds away from 7th position in the 77 McLaren. Meantime, 3rd and 4th place is still up for grabs, very much so, between Guy Cosmo and Trent Hinman.
I think we've had
we've had an off, Jeremy. We've had another off, and it's a mini again. It's the 73 again.
Oh, goodness gracious.
How many times are these minis going to be thrown? And it's a left front puncture on that car. Cause or effect, can't tell you. He's back on the circuit. He somehow pulled it out of the gravel as he came up the hill at turn 6. Just went straight on at turn 6.
Yeah.
So that may well have happened as he turned in.
Yeah, I think so. We've had 7 different leaders in this race, by the way.
Wow.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, which is pretty impressive, isn't it? And I'm just looking to see now.
The Mini is moving. We will not have, with 4 minutes to go, another full course yellow. Tyre is just about staying on the rim. He's driving it too quickly, I'm afraid. It was the 73 car that was right up there. That was in 4th position, wasn't it, that car? So now it becomes Audi, Nissan, Mazda in the top 4. And Christian Simchak is 6 seconds back from the top 3. So Pierre Kleineming in the 75 Audi, the 44, that's the red, white and black machine. The pink car in 2nd. And 34 in 3rd, Andrew Carbonell.
Yeah, and that put the 34 back up into 4th place. Number 37 will, having got past number 81 BMW a couple of laps ago, number 37 Mini is now up into 5th position.
Oh, and another spin, and it's Chris. It's
Green.
Chris Green from second. Exit of turn 1 and 2.
Inside 4 minutes to go.
And he's just spun away, second position. Just as I looked away at the timing screen for a moment, looked back to see that car spun round into the sunshine. Now the two Porsches were battling for position behind. Chris Green maybe. Oh, he went a bit wide. No, he's got a touch. And Guy Cosmos turned him around, driven straight into the back of him.
That was really weird. I mean, the number 69 car seemed to slow quite dramatically going into the corner. Way out like wide as well. It's a very funny line.
He's got to get a penalty for that.
I think so, because it wasn't, I mean, the number 4 car was...
Drive-through for car 4.
Yeah,
Drive-through for car 4. Can't believe, by the way, that Carbonell hasn't had a drive-through for the hit on the Mini, where he took the lead in class.
We didn't see that, did we?
Saw it from the onboard, from Carbonell's onboard. Kleiner being by 2.6 seconds from Trinkler in second. There's been a lot of robust driving. I think we might have to have a sit down and a chat with the kiddies before Petit Le Mans. What a race for the C360R. And now the problem for the 69 is that it's smoking from the back end after the hit. Didn't knock the diffuser off, though, that was hanging off there. Could have done them a favour. That's Faulkner up to 7th now without having to pass Ronde. And that's also good news for the 28 championship leader, because they've got a position without having to pass anybody. It will be the white flag next time by. And
Al Carter there being gifted a pretty substantial lead as a result of that
0.6
contact.
seconds, mate. It's
huge. It is.
And Guy Cosmo is going to be, well, Guy Cosmo's not holding on to second, is he? So Hinman will get up to second. Scott Maxwell's going to be on the podium.
Yeah.
So that will push the 28 car up to 4th position. What looked like a terrible day for both sets of championship leaders is getting slightly better for the 28 car.
Well, yeah, I'm sure the number 28 car is just, for most of the race, just been trying to stay out of trouble. It doesn't need big points, and everything in the last few races kind of fallen their way, and it's doing the same again now. You know, they've driven a beautiful race once again. I don't think any mistakes that I can remember. Because so much has happened.
Haven't seen it off the track, Jeremy.
Of course.
And the car doesn't have
contact with anybody else.
No, doesn't have a scratch on it.
Super drive. Championship winning effort. That's how you win championships.
Oh, yes.
Being fast, consistent, and smart.
Absolutely true. White flag then for Al Carter as he goes through to complete his 136th lap, and the gap is down to 1.2 seconds. Guy Cosmo is charging. He took half a second, but that's not enough. He's got to take much more. Owen Trinkler has found some pace.
No, he's been overtaken.
Oh, he's been overtaken. He's been overtaken, back down to 3rd. Yes, I keep thinking the Mazda's leading. And of course, Pierre Kleinebing is up the road from that. Al Carter then with 2.2 miles, less than that to go. Trinkler trying to have a go up to the corkscrew. Will be another lap for them at the end of this one, of course, because they're behind the leaders. Uh-oh, problems for the Nissan. Sounded like it was missing. Sounded like it didn't have full power coming down. Are there one? The Mazda in second, and a slightly stuttery Nissan going through, coming down to Rainy Corner. Al Carter is being caught. He's being caught hand over fist, and Guy Cosmo's got a chance here. It's not all over. It's down to 3 car lengths, 2 car lengths, half a car length into the penultimate corner, and the drag race off the line. Surely the Aston Martin will have this. The old over and under by Guy Cosmo. He's going to get the power on really early, and Carter's got to stand him up, and he has done. They've come off the corner together, and the Aston Martin with the V8 4.7 will pull away. That was closer than it needed to be, but Al Carter controlled it, and Al Carter, despite the pit stop penalty, despite the mistake in the pit lane, and he gets redemption for Watkins Glen, and the 99 Automatic racing car wins it by 0.3 of a second from Guy Cosmore for TGM in second. Trent Hindman comes to third. Cosmore did not do his drive-through.
Right.
Cosmore did not do his drive-through, so he will not get the second position for that. Hindman then will go to second, Scott Maxwell to third. The 28 championship leading car going up to fourth. They're going to argue about that afterwards, aren't they?
Yeah, you know, Joe Vardy is the strategist, team manager at Team TGM. He's been around this sport a long, long time, and you know, you get your results on the road, and then you argue about it afterwards. He's been around long enough not to give anything away. You know, if there is any way to gain it back, you know, as things stand, he's not going to keep the second place. But if he'd come in to serve the penalty, he definitely wouldn't have had the second place. So if he can somehow argue his case and plead, I don't know what, but whatever it is, then maybe he's got a chance of gaining it.
What a win in ST for Pierre Kleinebing. Clearly the right car at the right time on the right track, and Shea Adam is down in the C360R pit.
This is a celebration like I haven't seen in a long time. Carl Thompson gets wins in 2 classes in 1 season. How good does it feel to finally get that? He's being talked to on the radio by Pierre.
Yes, no, Pierre's so, I mean, Pierre's been such a great guy. He's been with us for 5 years. They've been so close so many times to be able to do it. And in a 4-hour race, you know, the reliability of that car wasn't awesome when we started. This is a testament to the guys. It's a testament to all of our crew, the folks at APR who help us, the folks at Audi who help us. It's absolutely incredible. I never would have thought this car would have won a 4-hour race. I promise you that.
Congratulations, Carl.
Thank you.
Carl Thompson, the man behind C360R, and do you know what? I'm really pleased for him because he's put a lot of work into that. It wasn't the straightforward choice to go ST racing with the Audi. Roy Block down there, part of the winning team as well. Pierre Kleinebing picking up the checkered flag in the pit lane. Roy did his bit in the middle.
And for Roy Block, 2 trips to the podium so far in 2017, but never to the middle step. This is a new experience for you. What are your emotions right now?
You know, third time's the charm. I'm just ecstatic. This is my very first win. What a race Pierre drove. The crew, C360R was amazing. The tires were working amazing, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful day.
Well, congratulations and enjoy the champagne.
Thank you so much.
We'll hear from the 99 crew in a moment. Jeremy Shaw.
Yeah, the first win for Roy Block, as he said, he's had a couple of third-place finishes this season. The third win for Pierre Kleinebing in his career, long and illustrious career in this series as well. But for number 99 team, look, the previous best results for Al Carter had been a pair of third-place finishes, actually 4 third-place finishes. For Steve Phillips, 3 seventh-place finishes were his best result. What a brilliant effort by that team. They've done absolutely wonderfully well today. They came back from that penalty. Brilliant drive by Al Carter. He was on a mission this weekend. You know, he looked pretty relaxed in a paddock all weekend long. I've seen him a couple of times, and he was determined to put that Watkins Glen, the last lap of Watkins Glen behind him. What a way to do it, John.
Penalty has been assessed on Guy Cosmore, and he is demoted to 9th position. 9th position on that. I just heard from race control it was going to be assessed post-race. It has been avoidable contact for Guy Cosmore, and he gets pushed down to 9th position. A lot of contact in the last hour or so of that race. I think Andrew Carbonell will find himself very lucky to have held on to 2nd position as he barged the Mini out of the way to get the lead in that category. But it's Al Carter that wins then, the 99 Aston that wins, should I say, from the 12 Porsche, from Scott Maxwell in the team in the 59, the co-racing car. And then the 4th place going to the championship leaders, the Dillons, ahead of Nico Rondo. Damien Faulkner back up to 6th. Could have been so much more for CJ Wilson today. That's one that they'll feel have got away. Then Chris Green in the 69 McLaren. Then the 7 Ford. Then Guy Cosmore in 9. And Chris Wilson, last car on the lead lap in 10th position. In ST, Pierre Kleinebing by nearly 3 seconds at the line from Andrew Carbonell, and Owen Trinkler in third, 75 Audi, 26 Mazda and 44 Nissan on the podium. Let's have a word with Steve Phillips from the lead and now the winning Aston Martin.
Well, Steve Phillips was just handed a hat that says race winner. How good does it feel to get your first GS win?
Fantastic feeling. Great team, great effort. Everybody's just fantastic. I love it. It's fantastic. Thank you for what y'all do.
Start in this championship, as I said, a best finish previously, 7th, which is done on 3 occasions. What a fabulous win for this team. They kind of threw away a couple of wins maybe in the last couple of seasons with strategic errors, but they've done a magnificent job today.
And we'll get a word with Al in just a moment or two's time.
That'll be interesting.
He wasn't happy with the penalty and was very unhappy with either his team or what he thought perhaps was race control. Second place then for the Porsche of Trent Hinman and Cameron Castles. The great result for them. And third, and will stand on the podium, Scott Maxwell and the rest of the 59 team as well. So 99-12, 59, 28-77. 6th place for Faulkner, and what a great drive by the less experienced member of that team, Russell Ward. Al Carter talking to us now with Shea Adam in the pit lane.
Poor Al Carter, he is exhausted after that one, but man, it was hard fought. You earned it. Happy belated birthday to start off with.